Hey everybody, this is Brenda Devine from Purpose 8 Institute, and you're listening to my podcast, Living a Life of Purpose, where we discuss the importance of purpose in our everyday lives. Discovering and living out your purpose keeps you focused on God's purpose. That is sharing the good news of salvation with others. This podcast is for people like me, still searching for the answers to who am I and why am I here? You and I were designed and created by God for purpose, and we have much to do. You can listen and subscribe to my podcast, Living a Life of Purpose with Brenda Devine on Anchor and all other podcast platforms. Hey, this is Brenda Devine from Purpose 8 Institute. I hope everything is going well with you. Everything is going well with me, and I just want to say thank you for joining me for another episode of my podcast, Living a Life of Purpose. So today's topic is carry your cross. So I've noticed, like when I first started out in ministry and I was all excited and full, and I started writing out what I believe God had asked me to do. And I had been looking for a building. I thought I had found a building. I had done a PowerPoint presentation. I had put a package together because I wanted to buy a building, and I wanted something in my hand to show versus, well, I just want to buy a building. And I showed it to a few people. And I remember I showed it to my pastor, and I thought he would be excited because I was full with purpose, and I was motivated, and I was being obedient, and I was following what I believe God told me to do. And he had excitement. He was supportive, but my expectations of support and what I received were totally different. I had the expectation that he would help me with my purpose, that he would help me figure out how to go about buying a building and financing a building, and how to take what I believe God had told me to do and to make it happen. And it was probably a couple of weeks, and then I didn't hear anything, and it started to settle in my spirit that, well, wow, he didn't even ask me this or that. And then I started thinking, he's busy. He has his own ministry. He has things that he's doing. He has his life. And so I said, well, I'll just see. I'll just wait. Maybe he'll say something to me. Maybe he'll approach me. Maybe he'll email me. And then it didn't happen. And I had a little seed of like, well, wow, a little bitterness. I won't even say bitterness. Just a little bit like, well, it would have been nice. And then I realized that, and the Holy Spirit had to check me, because I realized it's not my pastor's responsibility. It's not anybody's responsibility to help me with my purpose.
I have to carry my own cross. I remember speaking to a woman after what had happened to me and my expectations. I remember talking to a friend of mine at church, and she was a little miffed that she wasn't being supported. And I think she actually left the church. I don't know if she actually landed anywhere, but she left the church because no one was supporting her, or the church wasn't supporting her, or the pastor wasn't supporting her. And she has to carry her own cross. So you're living this life of purpose. You have an idea of what God has for you. It's really easy to get caught up in the devil's subtle trick of pride, thinking that people are to help you with your purpose, that they are supposed to help you with your purpose. When we are to carry our own purpose, doesn't mean that people aren't to support us, that we can't ask for people to support us, to help us, to lend a hand. But your assignment, your calling, your purpose, your responsibility, your work that you have to do, all belongs to you. No one else. No one else to be accountable for it but you. And I believe that a lot of people have been on the right track for their ministry, their assignments, their purpose, but they've fallen off and gotten mad at the church or people because they feel like nobody supported them. Our purpose, we are to carry our cross. Jesus carried his cross, and he carried it from the beginning to the end. No one is here, no one is responsible, no one has to help you carry your cross. As a believer in this life, as you walk through and you put all your efforts and energy and your passion and your submission, you put it into your purpose, your assignment, your calling. That is all yours. That is all yours. And every lesson that you learn on this pathway, every struggle and every trial is yours. And every one of them that you learn, it encourages you, it fills you, it teaches you, it elevates your faith, it makes you stronger. So you can't depend on other people and say that they or get disappointed or have some feelings of disappointment or envy or pride or jealousy or anger because somebody didn't help you with your purpose. That is your responsibility. So don't get caught up in Satan's trick to think that everyone is to surround you and embrace you. We have to be very careful to protect our purpose, because we may have an event, we may sell a book, we may have a business, and we're wondering, why is no one supporting me? Because you have to carry your own cross. You have to live out your own purpose. If it was easy, you wouldn't learn from it. We're learning. Our weaknesses are coming. to surface. We are learning more about ourselves, our capacity. So we are walking this purpose. We are learning as we go. And it would be great if everyone came to your event and everyone bought your book and everyone supported your business. That would be great. But what would you learn from that? If everybody came, what would you learn if God gave you everything you wanted? What would you learn if every day was a day that was just, fantastic? Everything was perfect. We don't learn from that. We learn from the lessons in our struggles and our trials. We learn from carrying that cross, carrying our purpose. We learn because as we're carrying that cross, we are being perfected. We're being improved. We're learning. We're learning more about ourselves. We're learning more about what God wants us to do. We're learning about our abilities and our strengths that comes through His power and His will. So don't get caught up on who's not supporting you, who's not sharing your posts, who's not liking you on your social media or whatever. It doesn't matter. You are here to do God's will. You are here to serve. You have absolutely no idea how your ministry is impacting anyone. Likes and people buying your books and people supporting your business and people telling you how great you are, whatever. That means absolutely nothing. Nothing. You have no idea how you fit into all of this. Those little likes and those little salutations to make you feel good, they mean nothing. What is important is your purpose. Doing God's will. What you are learning, how you are growing, how you are helping people, how you are serving, how you are letting people, through your actions, people see the glory in you. They see the glory of God in you. And they want the same for themselves. But you have no idea what one thing you do in your ministry or how you speak or act to people impacts them. There's no way for you to count that up. And we really shouldn't even be counting it up because it brings no glory for a number. No likes, no followers, no this and that. It doesn't mean that you don't keep up with your metrics or your data or who you reach out to, but that is not the platform. That is not what is most important. What is most important is you to carry your cross. And as you carry your cross, that journey from where you started, where you are now, where you will go forward, it will change. You will change on that process. But nobody is responsible for helping you carry your cross. So in those moments where you're sitting there and you're wondering, push all that aside and focus instead on the promise that God has given you, what He wants you to do for Him, for His glory. And focus on being grateful. Yeah, grateful that He ever, that He ever picked you, that He ever chose you, that He decided that He wanted you to do His will, that He wanted you included in His plan. Focus instead on being grateful for the talents and the gifts that He's given you to live your life of purpose, to bring that message to other people so they can have that same gift as you, as they can have that same opportunity to understand about purpose. That is what is really important. Not whether people support you or like you or what they say about you or whether they follow you or put a heart on your post. It's not important. What is important? If it's just one person that buys your book or comes to your event or comes to your presentation or goes to your online event, however your ministry platforms that you use for your ministry, it doesn't matter how many people come. If one person comes, great. If no one comes, great. It is more about you and your response in those situations. Your response that is not about you, that is about God's glory. Carrying your cross is not about you. Purpose is not about you. Your life is not about you. Your breath is not about you. All of this is about giving God the glory, carrying the message of salvation, touching people in conversation, experience, being present and telling them about the message of salvation and letting them know that they have purpose because they see it in you. All of this journey of purpose and carrying our cross is about our response as we carry our cross. Not fame, not glory, not posts, not likes, not followers, not friends, not family, not even ourselves. This is all for God. This is all for serving. This is all for sharing the message, the good news of salvation. That's what it's all about. So you are responsible to carry your cross in your ministry, in your assignment, in your calling. You are responsible to carry your cross. No one else but you. So, I'm going to leave that for you. And this is Brenda Devine from Purpose 8 Institute. Yeah, I'll talk to you in a little bit. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining me on my podcast, Living a Life of Purpose, on Anchor and all other major podcast platforms. To learn more about Purpose 8 Institute and our ministry of sharing the importance of purpose, please visit our website, www.purpose8institute.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and even TikTok. If you would like to learn more about purpose beyond this podcast, Living a Life of Purpose, you can also purchase one of my books that are available on my website, purpose8institute.com, and also on Amazon.